Hi again. This is Precious from this page, half of Jake and Precious. I just really didn't realize that I didn't have any audio. So if you're gonna watch this again tonight or whatever time zone you're watching from, please could you comment down below if you could hear me properly? So that would help me to know that I'm not just on mute. Sorry about the technical difficulties. I thought there's no point if keeping that video earlier if I you now no one could hear me. That's really funny. Anyway, that's fine. I can repeat everything again. I just hope that, some of you who tuned in earlier, a few of you who popped in live while I was chatting to you earlier would come by and watch again. And if you don't know me yet, and it's the first time that you've watched this Go Live series, I wanted to introduce myself again. Again, I do this business online, different platforms. So you're watching on Facebook, on YouTube, and LinkedIn. So, again, let me introduce a bit about myself. I'm Precious. I'm a wife, a mom of two daughters. I am a nurse manager by profession and a digital business mentor and a coach. I've started a business online with my husband. We do a digital marketing business online since end of 2019. So I could see that someone is watching at the moment. Please do let me know if you can hear me now because my previous live there was no audio sadly, so I thought I'd repeat this again because I wanted to share something to you even though it's quite late here in the UK now. um, but I do this series every beginning of the week, either Monday or Tuesday, because I want to share about how I lead, how I coach, how I do the business online, some updates about our business and the people we mentor and help to become successful using a digital business platform with training to do digital marketing online. And I share tidbits of how I do it, and also to let you know that I'm an actual and a real person, and that you could yay, let me flash that comment. Thank you so much. Right, so someone is watching live, Evelyn Omitogun, that she can hear. Thank you so much for helping me out. Earlier, I didn't have any audio output, so I thought I'd repeat this again because, yeah, I wanted to give you value and, increase your understanding on what we do online. Right. So, yeah, so we've started this business in late 2019. So we've just turned 3 years in the business community. Our business community of experts have started this digital business system since 6 years ago. So, yeah, so I do this again to let you know more about us and what we do, and maybe you would like to be coached up by me as we do this. So, just to give you updates, I did have a coaching call last week from a Filipino W based in Ghana in Western Africa. I was really surprised. She said to me that, there's a lot of Asians based in Africa. But of course, I also want to tap into that market because we do this global. So I'll appreciate if you're watching this or watching this later, if you could tell me which time zone you're watching this from. I'm very much aware that we do this global business from everywhere. So currently, it's about half 11 in the UK where I'm tuning in from. But I know that I'm reaching, different, cities, countries while I do this business. So I want to empower more of you. If you're exploring and finding out what could work for you on the side and make this as a plan a corporate exit strategy, right? Something that would help you drive more income for the time that you're putting in. This might be a good option for you. So, in somewhere in the description on this video, I did put in our link, which is www.jakeandprecious.com. And as soon as you sign up, you'll get directed to a workshop replay and also get access via email, so that you could also find out if you if it suits your time zone, so that you could join the live workshops that happens twice a week. Right. So I did a coaching call with that lady from Ghana, and she was so excited because she's been in the corporate world, or in a job for a while, even before she migrated there, and she thought she'd love to find a business that she could do on the side without taking much of her time. She's already working from home, so she knows working online works for companies, and if she does it for other people, other employers, enriching their business, why doesn't she do it for herself, right? If she finds the right thing, the right venture, then why don't she work the same way, as the same, passion for a business that she can own for herself. So, but yeah, I wanted to talk about resilience this evening, and what I was saying last time I went on live. I looked it up a bit, and I do think that all of us would benefit from being more resilient in everything that we do, because, we experience different challenges, different stresses, external factors that makes us anxious. Um, yeah, so we have different challenges in the workplace, in life, in business. You think maybe this is too overwhelming. You can't possibly fit in a business, alongside what you already do for your family. Maybe you are working from abroad, you're far away from home. So you might think, you can't possibly fit in another thing that would, you know, grab your time. But actually, if you've watched our previous lives, I do recommend that you do, so that you know more about how we, thrive through automation. That's why we're able to do this alongside our other life routines or work routines. So it's really possible, and I encourage you to explore more. But yeah, I think we would benefit from being more resilient, because we need it, right? We have different challenges that are thrown our way. Um, and sometimes there are personal challenges that we encounter on top of that, right? Sometimes it's really not easy. So I think all of us would need to be self-aware of where we're at in life, and do find out what would make it better, right? Be self-aware, face the facts, engage with it, face it assertively, and seek help, right? Nothing can be done effectively on your own, or at least, um, at a certain time that you won't feel lonely, right? You need to be surrounded by people who would help you get stronger, would pull you up when you're stuck. And we need to have that attitude wherein we are coachable and trainable, so that we could improve ourselves, right? And what we do, our business, our work, our studies, we need to seek support, right? So I read it up a bit, but before I go into that, I see that Evelyn um, commented again. It's 23:40 currently in the UK. I will have to go to bed now and watch later. Got work in the morning. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. But yeah, this will be available on replay. So please, go ahead and take your time and just watch me, later on replay. Um, right. What was I saying? So I wanted to talk about resilience, and it says in, one of the websites I looked it up in, it's a key strategy that helps employees or people to tackle stress, a competitive job, or a business in that case, or maybe you want to diversify and increase your income streams. Then, the drive for us to be competitive is actually, really key. Workplace conflicts, or in business with other colleagues that you might have, address challenges on the job, right? It helps us address challenges. Improving resilience is important because employees, or people, identify work as the number one stressor in their lives, because a huge part of our time during the day is spent at work, right? To making a living, earning for the family, earning for yourself, even if you are single. And yeah, it's really important that we develop resilience and we grow in it. And I think one thing is to be self-aware, find out where you're at, and develop your motivation. as a manager myself in the workplace, I do help and see where I can help them. So it's important to understand the people you work with, right? Understand yourself, learn how to seek help, be trainable, be coachable. Oftentimes, companies, our business community, develop really robust and effective training sites so that we could equip ourselves. It's very much relevant that e-learning is the new thing. We're in, you are able to do it video based. The same with our business community. We do have a very advanced training site that teaches a lot about digital marketing, how to protect, how to create your brand, how do you put yourselves out there so that you could help other people become business owners as well. And because we are a mentoring and a marketing business essentially in different platforms and social media platforms online. Um, so yeah, it's really kind of developing that uh, that willing to learn all the time, because that will really enrich ourselves and effectively help us achieve our goals. That's why we are so motivated to do things right. So I think we have to have a can-do attitude, as and then we that so that we could deal with conflicts assertively, not aggressively, but assertively. um, like facing it, engaging with the facts, and really dealing with it, so that oftentimes the things that are uncertain are more stressful for us, right? Sometimes we heighten things because we're anxious about what's going to happen on what will be the outcome. But if we are seeking to talk to communicate, or to deal with challenges head on, we are able to seek self improvement. I see that someone. Oh, let me flash. Okay, thanks for watching, Laville. Hi, Coach Precious, watching from Canada. Thanks for tuning in. Um, yeah, and then next, I think, is that I've said it already, that we should seek and ask for support when we're stuck, right? So that we don't do life alone, we don't do um, business alone, we don't do work alone, right? We need to be supported by people who are experts, who have already done it, who can help us to do it better. And maybe again, to point out any blind spots that we might have so that we could improve what we do. We need to be reflective. It's a very common practice in nursing here in the UK that we should have reflective practice. So, we can't avoid mistakes. Even just today, I made a mistake. It's so funny. Sometimes I deal with it because I just laugh about it. Like I don't hide that, I'm human. I make mistakes. I mess up. Just earlier, I did an error. Someone had an allergy with chlorhexidine wipes. If you don't know, I'm a nurse, so I was doing bloods. I was getting bloods from a patient, and here I am. So funny. I always say to my team that this patient has allergy to chlorhexidine wipes. So here I am, just task focused. I went in. I cleansed the site before I tried to puncture the vein. And he was pointing out, look, what did you use? And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so stupid. Like, I'm so sorry. I just had to kind of really acknowledge my mistake. I said, sorry, I made it, I cleansed the site. And then, some of us might feel like, oh, it's so embarrassing. I should feel shameful because I'm the boss. I'm the manager, and here I am. I'm making the same mistake. I'm asking people to avoid, right? So I just said, okay, look. So I, of course, told the doctor, I told my colleagues, oh my gosh, I made this mistake. I told my team. And I was just laughing about it because not in a way wherein I'm laughing because that patient might have, I've caused harm to a patient, because I made sure that patient was safe, right? And I apologized, I addressed it, I dealt with it in the way that I should. But I was like laughing to myself, like, oh my gosh, like this could easily happen to everyone. And so oftentimes you just need to be honest about what we are uh, maybe prone to kind of have a shortfall, right? Anyone makes mistakes, but it's about how you respond to them and how you grow from it and how you improve yourself and how you maybe show others how they can deal with it in a way wherein it's still helpful because next time around you won't do it again, right? You reflect on it because you don't want to do it. You want people to know because you don't want people to follow your mistakes. And this is what I do as a mentor and as a coach as they start business with me as their coach. I'm not here to spoon feed. I'm here to direct them to the right places when they are probably struggling, right? I think we need to recognize that we are all in a journey, and I think it's really important that we seek and face what our weaknesses are so that we could be signposted to what we need in order to improve, not just ourselves, because at the end of the day, it's hardly ever about ourselves, especially when you're working with other people. It's about working together and yeah, seeking out what benefits everyone else in your team, in the workplace, at home, right? In business, in anything that you do, like you really have to approach it in a way that um, yeah, it's reflective so that you can improve everything you do. um, so next, I hope you could relate to that. I know it was a healthcare related example, but I think it's so, sometimes get it, we get too anxious about the things we don't do right, but actually no one expects you to be perfect, right? We are okay to make mistakes, but it's how we respond to it and how we grow from it, I think is important. And also in resilience, we need to grow in self-care, right? I think as hardworking people, especially if you want to start a business, right? And you already have a job, um, you have to fit in. You really have to find that rhythm in you in order to also fit in self-care. Because how else can you bounce back if you don't look after yourself, right? If you're not healthy, you easily get sick, right? You're not emotionally stable, or you can't sleep properly because you think about things that worry you. We need to prioritize rest so that we could bounce back and we can face challenges better and in the right, headspace, the right mindset, a winning mindset. Be positive, and it's hard to be positive when your body is so tired. If you haven't had sleep, if you haven't eaten, you're starving, and all these things. So I think, in order for us to do well and be excellent in what we do, we really need to prioritize us to be well first before we give of ourselves to others. I posted this morning that, we, choose to, live for others, because that's when we find a better purpose if we're not just living for ourselves. So yeah, as a coach, I really am passionate about helping other people become successful. My husband and I do this together, different roles, but I'm the one who's a coach, and he always says that people achieving success, um, the people we help, that would make us successful. I think that's really the goal, is that we just don't win, but we win with others. While they're winning, we are winning as well. So thank you for listening. It's great that I was able to catch you again live and with an audio. If you're gonna watch this later on, please do comment and ask questions. If you have specific topics you would want me to talk about, draw from my experiences, both in the workplace, as a nurse for over 10 years, and also as a business owner, and now a coach for 3 years. I would, I'm very much open to do that, and I'd like to give you this valuable content week in and week out, because I really want you to, increase your understanding on what we do, and that you can trust us if you do decide to explore your options in the online space and do digital marketing with us. Thank you for tuning in. Our website again is www.jakeandprecious.com, and I'd love to build some interactions and communicate with you. So don't hesitate to do that. And yeah, thank you so much. Thank you for the ones who will watch this later on. God bless and thank you. Have a good rest of the week and see you next week. Bye. Take care.